recording. Right, so this is a tutorial, but once you've done today's tutorial, what I then want you to do is to go to the middle page, to which I'm never going to find. There it is. And go to week 5. At the bottom of week 5, we've got an additional exercise for you to complete. And what I want you to do, come on. There's two lines and they intersect somewhere. What I want you to do is to figure out the way that you prefer is to find the intersect of those two lines. This is very, very, very easy on this one. However, imagine your data set's got 7,000 data points. Is there a fast way of doing it without you having to spend 20 minutes trying to find that intersect? Is there a fast way of doing it? And there's probably about 6 or 7 different ways you could do this particular one, but just remember one of your lines will be live data and the other line will be a linear line. So try not use mathematics, because in this one here you could just find the equations of both lines and do the intersect of the two equations and then you get your answer. But with live data that wouldn't work. You'd have to do something different. So after you've done today's tutorial in your own time, try and work out a way of doing that intersect and try and use the techniques from last week, with the flags coming up. Okay, you've got, if I was to load of a blank page, what I want you to do is to create a simple table. I'll make my text nice and big. I'll go PO point A and point B. I will then go X and Y. If you're falling behind, just give me a shout and I'll slow down. But if you're keeping up, that's fine. But do tell me. So point A, a simple line, I'll go 1 and 3. Then I'll go for point 2, or point B, sorry, I'll go 2 and 7. Nice and easy. Then I'm going to come over here and I'll go insert. And I'll go insert. I'll go to this scatter graph as we did last week. And I'm going to pick this one here with the points and the line. Move it to the side a little bit. And then I'm going to right click and say select data. Then I'll go add. I'll go series. I'll go yeah. I'll go name the series. I'll just go. No, I won't bother. I'll give it a space. Then for the X series, I'll press that arrow to allow me to select. I'm going to select not this way, but I'm going to select it down the way because I'm only going to select the X axis. Does that make sense? I'm selecting the X axis of both points. I'm now going to select the Y axis of both points. So down the way. Press OK. Then press OK. Now I've got a line shown because I've got 2 points. I could change that quite easily. For my example, I'll go back to 1. Right. Okay, excellent. Now we need to find the equation of this line. You all remember the the equation of a straight line is y equals mx plus c. M is the gradient. I'll just put my notes up so we can all see what I'm talking about. M is the gradient, x is obviously the x-axis, and c is the y-intercept where the graph crosses the y-axis. Come down. What you're asked to do now, yeah, let's find that equation. So I'm going to select the data. I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to add a trend line. This will come up. I'm going to select linear. So it's a linear I'm going to select. Then I'm going to go display equation on chart. It'll display the equation. Now, I could also put display the r squared value. This will be 1 because there's only 2 points, right? So it will be a perfect result. However, if you've got live data, your r squared value will become different. But if I just press that, you get r squared equals 1. Oh, sorry. Tidy this up. Right. Now, just imagine I want to recreate that line. Again, I do have all of this written out word for word in my printouts that I'll make available to you. Right, so from this equation that we've now got up here, have you all done that? What I now want you to do is I'll go here. Oh, remember what we've done before? We had start point, end point. No, start and step. And step. We'll have start at... What did I do? What did I do? I'll do start at 0 and step of 1. Start at 0, step 1, and then we'll go... I'll name this cell. And I'll name that cell. Now you don't need to do what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to be fly with it. I'm going to go equals start. Underneath that equals the cell above plus the step. Then I'm going to select just that one cell and bring it down to about there. Okay? You've all done that last week. It should be fairly simple. Or if you're a bit behind there, just put 0, 1. That'll be fine. Just that what I get to do is I get to go minus type of thing. Or I get to go right. Now we're all there. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to go equals 4 times x minus 1. Enter. Everyone okay there? Dion? Everyone okay? Is anyone struggling? Do I need to come around?
What is x minus 1? What is the x?
Right, I'll do that again.
Wait, the x up there.
X is this column here, and Y is this column here.
Right.
So I'll do that one more time. Good question, Sean. I'm going to go 4 times, I'm going to select the X of that row, minus 1. And that equation, Sean, is this equation you've got here for that line. Because I'm going to try and draw this line much bigger now. I'm also going to try and move that line as well. How you doing? Doing okay? You got it? Try and get the columns though. I'll pause the recording just now. Right, we're back on the recording now. So everyone should have, I'll just copy this down, something like this. Okay? Now, what we're going to have to do is create another graph. I'll keep this one, but this time I'll use the scatter graph again, the exact same as the last time. I'll go Insert, Scatter Graph. I think this time though, I won't use the one with the points on it. I'll use the one just with the lines between the points. Yep. And now I'm going to select the middle side. Select in there, right click. I'll go Insert, Data, Select Data. That's what I want. Again, I'll just go Add. Now, for here, I'm going to put line 1. Line 1 in the series name. Because I'm going to do 2 lines in a minute or 2. Right? So line 1. I'm now going to select all my X's by pressing the arrow and come down and drag over all of my X's. And then now I'm going to select all my Y's. Press OK. And I'll press OK. And then I've got a graph. Now all that graph is that original line just extended. That's all that it is. Has everyone got that? Excellent. Right. Okay. Not for tutorial number 1, coursework. Not for coursework number 1, but coursework number 2, you're going to have to do something quite interesting. I'm not going to try and get into it on this tutorial here of why you have to do that. We'll do that in the next lecture. Today's lecture was really easy, wasn't it? All you're doing is doing a compression on a piece of wood like that, and you're measuring the force or the resistance that the wood gives. And the highest number is your F max. But when we do compression to the wood perpendicular to grain, now it's not that size of block, I brought it in last week, it's a bit bigger. When you do that, you get a different type of graph altogether, and you'll have to find F max. Now, I'm not going to go into how you do that today, we'll do that next time, but it will involve you taking the line that you've just drawn and then drawing a second line a distance across horizontally. Okay? I want you to think about this for a few minutes, and I'll then show you exactly how to do it. Right, we'll all do it together. I want the penny to drop of what it is we're doing. And once we've done that, I'll make my full notes, available for you. Because what I don't want you to do is just to do what's in my notes without the penny dropping of, right, this is how we make it move. Because it's a bit interesting. So, in your descriptor, we've got the equation of a straight line y equals mx plus c. And this is c is the y-intercept where the graph crosses the y-axis. What we now need to duplicate that first line but move it across horizontally, we need this equation, y equals m. M is still the gradient, and we know for our equation, our line, our gradient is 4. So y equals 4 times x minus a. Right? Now that's the equation of the same line. So if we can do that first of all, we should get the exact same line. And then what we'll do, and we'll then ask it to move horizontally. So we'll do this first of all. So I'll try and keep, now what I'll do is I'll steal a bit of my, I'll do a screenshot. And I'll go here, and I'll paste it. Are we still recording? Let's double check that we're actually recording. We are. Good. So I'm going to call that line 1, what we've just done. I now want the y for line 2. Okay? Now what we're going to do is we need to figure out where it crosses what axis again? Can anybody remember? Where it crosses the y-axis, is that right? Let's double check, because it'd be embarrassing if I get it wrong. Yeah, the x-intercept. Right, so how are we going to find where it intersects? One suggestion I would suggest we do is we do a start at, how did I do it the last time? No, don't do that, don't do that. Start. Step. So, all I've done is I've changed my start point. X equals minus 2 there. And my step I've put at 0.01. And I can see just by visually, I can see that my y crosses the x-axis. So is that right? Yeah, it crosses it when it's x is 0.25. Make sense? So what I'll do is, I'll just do another variable. I'll just move this up a wee bit, insert, and I'll do a, and I'll call that a as well, lowercase a, and I'll put 0.25. Yep. So if I now go to here, under my line 2, and I just press equals, m is 4 times x minus a, close brackets. Now, the nice thing I love about naming the variable the cells is I don't need to worry, if I name this the cells, I don't need to worry about using the $sign to hold things. If I copy that and paste it all the way down, what we should get is the second line should be exactly the same as the first line. All it is the same data representing a different equation. That's all that it is. Make sense? I'll put another cell in here. Insert. I'm going to go move. MOVE. BE. I'll call that, oh, sorry, that didn't work. Do that again. That's called move, right? And I'll move it, I don't know, 5. Right, so now I've got my line 2 matching perfectly. Have you all got line 2 the exact same as line 1 now? Who's not got it? Just give me a shout. Right, I'll pause the recording and come round. So we've now got a second line. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have move, and I've actually got a cell called move already. I've already called it move. And I put the number 5 in there just now. All I'm going to do, imagine this equation here. Imagine that I write it as y equals, y equals m open brackets x minus a minus mov. Oh yeah. Move, enter. I'm going to give that a wee shot. Okay? Is that what you guys got? Right. So I'm going to go into my first one, go in there, and type move. Enter. Copy, and paste it all the way down. And I'll do my start at 0, step at 1. Right, so I've not graphed my second line yet. So I'll go into my graph, right click, select data, I'll add, I'll call it line 2. I'll select all my X data, so just the X column, press enter, and I'll select my Y data. Now this time it'll be line 2's Y data. Press OK. And let's have a quick peek. Have I got that right? Yes, I have. I'll show you. Easy way to show. Actually, it's fairly easy to show here. What I'm trying to do when I'm trying to move the line horizontally by 5. Does that make sense? So I'm not wanting it up 5. I'm wanting it horizontally 5. If I look at 0, 0 or 0, whatever it was, 0, 0. No, it wasn't. It was 0.250. That's what it was. If I see that, you'll find it's now over here. And it should be 5.25. Yeah, you see it. So if I was to zoom in on that, we should find that intersect should be 5.25. That means it's moved horizontally along. Does that make sense, guys? Who's that not drop? Who's that? I mean, you guys have all got it. Pennies dropped, yeah? All you're doing is just moving it along that way. Then we're not fully grasping that. Right, okay. Let's try and zoom into that 5 area. So I'm going to do start at 4.8 and my step 0.01. No, start at 5. There we are. So you can see here. Now remember when it crossed the x-axis, the data, the point was along 0.25a. That's when it crossed the x-axis, and the height was 0. Well, what we've got here, if we go across 5.25, my height is 0. Does that make sense? Right, I'll stop. I'll keep the recording going, and I'll pull up something. The first graph that we had, the intersect there was when x equaled 0.25, then y equaled 0, right? And we called that point A, didn't we? We said A equals 0.25. My second line, right, there's my second line. What we found there was x equals 5.25, and y obviously at that point equals 0. So all I've done is I've just moved that point horizontally along 5 units. So all I've done. Does that make sense now? So the equation of what we've done, let's go back. Because there's rounding errors in Excel, that's why it's showing that. But we've got our move as 5, and all we've done with the equation is we've just put in there minus move as well. That move equals 5. So if I change that 5 to go, say, 1, we'll find that intersect. We'll find that now. The intersect will be where it'll be about, well, we should know. The intersect should be 1.25, shouldn't it? If I only move it along 1. So my intersect will be 1.25. So I'll go 1 and 0. And there we are. That's where it hits 0 there. Make sense? Has everyone got it? Right. Cool. Got an exercise for you then. I've got an exercise where if you've got 7,000 data points, how are you going to find the cell for the minimum value, or no, not the minimum value, but the absolute minimum value from either negative or positive? How are you going to find that cell within that row of data? As homework for you. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do it. I'll expect you to learn how to do it yourself. Come back next week and let's see how you've all done it. There's more than one way of doing it. One way of doing it is just to do it manually and just spend 20 minutes going through all the data points and just find where it's the smallest number and hope that you're right. Or there's the flag system we done last week. You could do that. But there's another way of doing it. And we will be showing that next week anyway. Because I used that in the first tutorial or the first coursework. But I'll show you how to do it. But there's multiple ways to do it. But it's just allowing yourself to save some time. So the spreadsheet I've got for you to play with for next week. It's on Moodle. There we are. And it's under week 5, very bottom, intersect of two lines. There we are. So we've got the exact same thing you've just been doing, kind of. You've got two lines from equations, and all you want to do is to find quickly that intersect there. How are you going to do that? But try and not use mathematics. Just try and use the methods that I've already shown you, or there's a method that I want you to try. There's other ways to do it. Try and find a way to do it rather than doing intersect of two linear lines in mathematics. Try not do that because that won't help you with the live data. And also try not do it manually just by looking at it going, well, if x equals what, minus 1.4, no, minus 4, would that be right? No. Right. Rather than trying to do it manually, try and do it in a systematic approach. So all very often you've only got 11 data points, sorry, 22 data points. But if you've got 7,000 data points, there are fast ways to do it. So that's your exercise for next week. Right, has everyone managed to do the line and move it across? Right, I'm going to stop the recording and I'll go around and check, make sure people can do it. But before I go though, what I will do, just so that it is fair, get a shot of that now. Come on, come on. There we are. Right, for this week, no, tutorial. I'm going to hide this one. And I'm going to show this one. And this is the one with all the additional help in it. So it's telling you how to add the trend line. It's telling you what to select in there, giving you equations, and it's also giving you a bit more help with that move command. So it's more suited for people that are not in class today, but it's also good for us as well, just to memorize, oh, it's that equation and the move. Put the move in as well. Right, I'll stop the recording now.